everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kay and I am known as Stitchy Pfeiffer here on YouTube and over on Instagram. This is my little corner of the internet where I talk about cross stitch. Occasionally I will show crocheting and knitting. I do have some crocheting to show you today, but mainly it is a channel about cross stitch. A very warm welcome to my new subscribers, and to those of you who are returning, welcome back and thank you for coming and spending some more time with me today. If you're not a subscriber and you've come across my channel through browsing, or it's shown up on your recommended, or you've seen my links on Facebook in the Facebook groups that I'm in and what have you, and you're curious, by all means, if you like the video, please do click on the like button and the subscribe button if you like my projects and you want to follow the progress as I work on them. Normally I have an update video every Saturday. I'm a day late. In fact, I'm a month and a day late because I'll go into that in a life update. But normally I have a weekly update, at least 2 Stitch With Me videos, and before I had my little break for August, I did sort of belly with a live stream. I wasn't that confident about it, and I was nervous, and I think it came across as that. But hopefully, I'm going to do more of those, and hopefully I'll become more confident doing them. So yeah, if you like, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. If you like my projects and you want to follow the progress, click on the subscribe button, and on the notification button you could select the option for all, and you'll get a notification whenever I upload content. As I say, I try and do one of these updates every week, but there has been a little glitch, or should I say a big glitch. I didn't post, I don't think I posted much content at all in August. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll talk about that in my life updates anyway. Today is Sunday the 7th of September. I've got Saturday the 6th written here on my notes. And I'm sorry, like I say, it's been so long since the last update, but I have been struggling with my mental health. Let's just say I wasn't in the right headspace to produce any content. And I do thank you for those of you who have stuck with me through my little dry spell, and you know, you've had your you've been patient with me while I've overcome the hurdles that I've had this last month. The upshot of that is that we have quite a bit to show. I have quite a bit to show you. It's a royal we there, Slipman. Did you notice? I think there's about 11 or 12 projects to show you. Normally I'll have maybe 4 or 5, sometimes 6. Depends on the projects and how the rotations worked, because it's a 7-day week and I work a 2-day rotation. So there's going to be, you know, weeks when I'm halfway through my rotation when I do my update, and there's going to be weeks when I'm, yeah. But I'm changing my rotation slightly. Well, maybe quite a bit actually. But we'll go into that in plans. I'm going to, as I say, I've also got a crochet project that I started and I want to show you as well, and I'll show you that at the end. Before I do haul. I was kind of toying with the idea. I was thinking about this sort of like in August, towards the end of August, I was thinking about filming this one. I was kind of thinking about changing it and doing monthly updates. But because of the way my rotation was, you would be getting more or less a WIP parade every month. I've got 20 projects on the go, and 2 days each. There's 10. You know, it's near enough. In fact, I think it would be a WIP parade every month if I was to do it that way. So it was kind of like, I don't really want to do all that. It's going to be, you know, instead of being an hour of it, well, 45 minutes to an hour, you'd be looking at an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I thought, nah, it's a bit too long. It's a bit too long for me to sit and talk because I don't edit. I don't know how to edit. And so I do apologise for that, but what you get is what you see with me. And we may get a visit from Charlie or Oscar or my little lodger that's been staying with me over the weekend, little Trixie, who's my next door neighbour's little kitten. She's five or 6 months old, and why has her personality changed? She's bossy. She's put the boys in their place this weekend. I will try and get a picture of her and put it on the communities tab at some point. Weather-wise, in this little corner, in my little corner of Fife, is a wee bit dreary today. It's not as dull as it was yesterday when I was starting to do the prep work for my update. It was really dull and dank yesterday. It's a little bit brighter today, but it's still dull. The lighting, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but the lighting is just a little bit off in here today. I did try and put my magnifying lamp at an angle, but it was glowing into the side of the video, and it was just, nah. So, oh, here's Oscar. Are you going to come and say hello? No? Okay, bye. Just don't go and do anything that you're not supposed to be doing, i.e. attacking your brother. Come here. Come on then. Come on. Oscar. No, we'll just sit and clean our bottom. Certainly, weather-wise, it is a big difference since last month, and we can tell that it's getting into the autumn. It's getting towards the, you know, spots are starting to turn towards winter now, and the change in the weather, it's getting a bit cooler. Hopefully, it's getting a bit cooler because I don't like it when it's hot and humid. So let's go on with the cross section, with the update and progress. In August, I stitched for 30 days out of 31. The only day I missed, I think, was the day that I filmed my update. It seems to knock me out of kilter, so I'm probably going to have... I did manage to film yesterday, but my video was a bit... I wasn't happy with it. And then when I actually uploaded it to YouTube, it was what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, corrupt. The file was corrupt when I uploaded it, so I had to get scrapped. So that's why I'm filming today. I wasn't happy with it either. It wasn't anyway. So there might be 2 days of lower amount of stitching today, this month. But in August, as I say, I stitched for 30 days out of 31. I stitched on 11 projects for a total of 21,007 stitches, which is a wee bit down on my average, but it's better than what I was expecting it to be. On those 30 days, I had 1 new start, I had 0 finishes, I had a couple of milestones. I hit 1% on one of my larger full project coverage projects, and 50% on another smaller one. And I've got one that I was 40 stitches shy of 1%, and I stopped. If I'd kept going for them, I wouldn't have been sitting at 0.98%, I'd have been sitting at 1%. But hey ho, I didn't realise it at that time. I'll just make sure that I don't do that again. If I'm like a couple of stitches off a percentage, I will try and get that up. So, projects that I stitched on in August. Let's start with it at the beginning. And I do apologise for the zips. Normally I make sure the zips are not open. Sorry, the zips are open, but I had filmed all this and it was all ready to go away yesterday. Oh, hello Trixie. This is my neighbour's kitten. This is Trixie. Hello darling. You're gonna oh, she's off. This is my neighbour. That's my neighbour's kitten. That's Trixie. She's a little sweetheart. And now she's talking to me. Do not cause a fight though. You coming up? Trixie, come on. There she is. There she is. Let everybody see your face, no? Are you going to tell Oscar what's what? Are you? Alright. Yeah, first project that I worked on. And I worked on this for the most number of days in August. Please don't fight. I worked on this for 9 days and that got me for 2,423 stitches. It's supersized the Kitschy kitchen shelf, Max Colours by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Aimee Stewart. And that's what it's going to look like when it's finished. Please don't attack my toes. Charlie's in the huff because she's here. He's out of sorts. Oscar keeps attacking him. Well, that's where oh no, wait a minute. There it is where I did these stitches here. I've switched. I'm working in 10 by 10 blocks, but I'm coming down the column. So when I get back to it next, I'm working up here, and I'll be working down. No, I'm working on this column here. I'm working down here, so I'm starting there and I'm working down. And I've got the bottom of this top shelf. Oh, yes, Oscar, thank you. Bye. Bye. If he's going to have zoomies, try and have zoomies in the hall. Have cats, he said. It'll make your life fulfilled. Yeah, whatever. So that's that one. Once I've finished sort of that block to get myself onto, so that I've got the entire, I mean, I'll let you see if I can. Right, that's my progress overall, and I'm working in this bit here. So once I've sort of got along so that I'm more or less there, so once I've got all this section done, I'm going to go back up on work here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to work across my 10 by 10 blocks. I'll work across and parking the parking the block below. I've been doing that for my new project and I'm really enjoying it. It seems, my stitching's neat, the parking's neat. I'm finding that I'm not getting tangled or what have you. So that was that one. The next project that I worked on was the HAED cell. I'm not going to show you what it's going to be like when it's finished, because the mock-up on my pattern keeper is just for the first 3 instalments. In fact, you know what? I'm going to show you. Come on. So I'm working still on the 3rd instalment. The last instalment comes out the 1st of October, and I'm working over here still. I've just got to finish these diagonals off here and come back across and working in the bottom. So that's the mock-up, and that's my stitching. As I said, I've got a couple more diagonals to do here, and then I'll come across and work here. So there is in this frame. I've got a bit of a problem with this frame. I think I've threaded the screw on it. I'm going to have to get the pliers out to loosen it so I can move the frame. Otherwise it's not going to get finished and I won't get my free project. So that's the second one that I worked on. I worked on that for 13 days. I hadn't been happy with the progress I'd been getting on it, so I kind of concentrated on that a bit more for the first half of August, between that and the kitchen shelf. And I stitched a total of 4,237 stitches over those 13 days. I forgot to tell you my total stats for the kitchen shelf. I'm at 66,492 out of 736,263 stitches, 9.03%. That was another little milestone, hitting 9% on that one, because it is a huge project. The HAED sal, I am at 61,069 stitches out of 73,672, or 82.89% of the third instalment being complete, and that was after doing 4,237 stitches last month. The next one is the Peacock and Roses Sampler, which I worked on for one day, and I got 1,000 stitches. Go and stop doing that, please. And this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. Obviously, I'm doing this in variegated floss. I'm doing this in GMC 121, but that is the finished design. This is from 2x2 needle art on Etsy. I'm also doing another one of their designs, Celtic Dragon, which Laura, Stitching by the Shore Laura, is doing as well. I don't know if she's finished hers though yet or not. I can't remember how far along she is. But that is where I am on Peacock and Roses Sampler. As I say, I stitched on that for one day for 1,000 stitches. I have got complete on that 3,442 stitches out of 15,342, or 22.44%. And I do apologise for the cats growling in the background. For those that are interested, this is the floss that I am using. That's the floss I'm using. I don't know how to hold this without it, glare it without it. It's on antique white Aida by Zweigart, and it's 18 count 1/1 full cross. The HAED sal is 18 count 1/1 full cross with CXC on easy count, and the kitchen shelf is on 25 count easy count with CXC 1/1 full cross. All my projects are 1/1 full cross with CXC unless otherwise stated, and they will either be on 18 count or 25 count. And in the description box I have put the list of projects that I'm working on, and the fabric count and the strands and what have you. So that was Peacock and Roses Sampler. Stop that, please. What, did you give yourself a fright, you silly kitty? Oh, she's having jimmies. The next one that I worked on is Hummingbirds in Spring, which is a Dona Gelsinger chart. This is a quick stitch version, I believe. It's the one that we got as a second Gogh chart. It's retired from Heaven and Earth Designs. It's the second Gogh chart from the Heaven and Earth Designs sale for this year. We got when 2,000 people had signed up, and that's it. That's what it's going to look like there. That's the mock-up. And I worked on this for 6 days. I kind of got into the groove of this one. I'm working this one a wee bit differently. Working on it with getting the shapes and kind of like Gemma's method. And I stitched, as I say, for 6 days, and I got 3,835 stitches. I completed the Hummingbird's head and brought this all down here, and I did a little bit up here, but I'm quite happy with it. I'm quite proud, I'm quite chuffed with that. It looks really good, and that is on 18 count 1/1 full cross with CXC. I'm quite happy with that. You know, it looks quite good. Some people are like, well, you're on 18 count, you should be doing 2 strands on 18 count. I'm like, well, yeah, but normally DMC, yeah, but CXC is a wee bit thicker, a wee bit fluffier, and it's a wee bit harder to do the 2 strands on 18 count. So that is that one, and the stats for that one, I have reached 8.68% complete on that. 7,439 stitches out of 85,725. The next project that I'm going to show you is the one that I'm doing to commemorate my mother, who passed away when I was a child. And in 2030, she would be, if she'd still been alive, she would have been celebrating her 100th birthday. So to commemorate that, I picked a Carolyn Manning chart called Lily of the Valley. It's one of the Granny's Flowers collection, and I think this is actually for some reason it's put the chart in at 90-degree angle because it actually goes wide widthwise. But it's not, I don't know, it's easy enough for me to stitch, and I can usually get across, you know, from one, you know, a couple of days going right across. But I did, because I'm aiming for a January 2030 finish on this, and I did 1,011 stitches on it in 1 day of stitching, and I will show you, I completed I was halfway through this diamond, so I completed that one, did this full one, and I'm halfway through this one. And I am at a total of 5,372 out of 29,404 stitches, or 18.27% overall. Excuse me. The next one I'm going to show you is one that's a freebie from Facebook. It's by Dark X Stitch, and it's called Look to the Sky. It is. Will you two please stop? Is it there? It's the one with the beautiful polar bear and the northern lights. And I'm working up in the top left hand corner, so I'm just starting to get the northern lights coming in. And I worked on that for 2 days, and I got 1,007 stitches for 2 days, taking it to 2.42%. I completed this diagonal here, so there's a little bit down here still to do, so I completed that, and then I went back up to the top and did this diagonal down here. I have done 6,666 stitches out of 275,625 stitches or 2.42%. I think I might have repeated myself there, I do apologise if I have. I'm being distracted by a little Ginger and Tabby. My little lady is distracting me. And Charlie just won't come through. He'll hide. He'll be huff. He's in the huff in the bedroom. The next project I'm going to show you is Nana by Evenweave Designs. This artwork is by Elizabeth Welker. I stitched on this for one day, and just get the mock-up up. Come on, mock-up. This is what it will look like when it is finished. Trixie, stay out of that corner, please. Trixie, no. Good girl. That's what it's going to look like when it's finished. And again, I'm working up in the top left hand corner. So I did 1025 stitches, taking me to 0.98%. This is the one I was talking about, that it was only about maybe 40 stitches away from 1%, and I stopped. So that is there. I completed this diagonal here. I went back up and started down here. I'm doing this in 20. My comfort spot is 20 stitch wide diagonals, using the parking. Sorry for the trailing threads, but you know, I park. And the way that I work my parking is, if the stitch above where the park thread is to go is completed, I will complete the stitch and park in the next available space for that colour. I have tried to explain it a couple of times on my Stitch with Me's. I don't know how clear it is, probably about as clear as mud, because yeah, I'm not very good at explaining these type of things. Right, about halfway I think, 2, 4, yep, halfway, that's 6. The next one that I worked on was Taboo by Long Dog Samplers. It's one of the peccadillos. Will you two stop that? Oscar! He gets bullied by her, and then he goes and bullies Charlie, and Charlie's the oldest. You'd think he was the boss, but yeah, she's bullying him, and then he goes and bullies Charlie to make himself feel better. I'm half expecting a full-blown cat fight at some point, so if that happens, I will jump up out the way. Normally the boys got on really well together, so it's just amazing how introducing another cat into the mix changes the whole dynamic. But anyway, this is Taboo by Long Dog Samplers. It's one of the peccadillos. I think it's the second one that I've done. I've done what was it called? One Night Stand was the one that I completed just in January, and I started this one February time, I think. I'm working it on 310 CXC 1/1 full cross on 18 count. It's on antique white Aida. That's it showing without the back stitch. This is it with the back stitch in and the border. See the little swirls into the crosses, because Pattern Keeper doesn't recognise back stitch. So that's where I am there. For my 1002 stitches that I managed to get done, I stitched on this for one day. I found the other corner, so that is the full width of the project, and I did that bit there, and I did the inside border down to here, and now what I'm working on is just to fill up the centre is negative space, so I'm working on the diagonal so that I don't get lines, and I'm quite enjoying it. It's actually quite a quick stitch. I mean, for me to get 1002 stitches in one day, and it wasn't even a full day stitching, it was only maybe a half day stitching, because it's monochrome. That one and my Peacock and Roses Sampler, the two of them, because they're monochrome, it's just mindless stitching, because you're just, well, it's not, I say mindless stitching, you're still having to count obviously, but you're not having to go and hunt for the change of colour. You can just concentrate on it on the one colour. After I did that, completed that, I switched onto Dogwood Cottage. I think I stitched on this the same day as Taboo, and then the next day to get my 2 days. And I stitched 1,043 stitches. God, I was on fire last month with getting 1,000 stitch rotations done. This is Dogwood Cottage. Its artwork is by Abraham Hunter, charted by Artecy. I have a couple of other pieces of his from charted by Artecy as well that I'm going to be planning on starting at some point. I'll talk about my plans, what I'm planning on starting next and what have you, and my plans. But that is where I am. I finished this diagonal off and started the next one. Again, nope, this is 10 stitch wide diagonals because of the confetti. I felt the 2 stitch wide was just, I think this one was a 2 stitch wide, 20 stitch wide. This was a 10 stitch wide, and I just felt like it was too big. The 20 stitch wide was too big because of the, although there's confetti in it, it's sort of dotted about. It's not right across, so I could be across here, and then the next bit is like way across here, but it's maybe 3 or 4 rows down. So I thought, no, what I'll do is I'll go back to 10 stitches wide till I get out of this tree, and then I'll see what's happening. I might go back into a 20 stitch wide because it is my favourite. Again, I apologise for the hanging threads. This is 25 count 1/1 full cross CXC. And I have completed 1.81% of the project. The stitch count of 4,121, and oh god, come on, 4,121 stitches out of 227,150 stitches overall. Will you two stop? Excuse me, Trixie, stop growling at, hey, thank you, stop growling at him. Do I have to go and get a spray bottle? You know what that is, don't you? She does this at home as well with my friends' older cats. I'm looking after them as well. I'm going to feed them every night. Well, I don't know if I have to feed them tonight or not. Because she's coming home. She said she'd be home at the back of tea time. Oh, I don't know if I have to feed them tonight or not. Anyway, the last project I'm going to show you for August, I've still got September stitching to show you, but August, the last one I worked on in August was the Cottage Garden in Full Bloom with a young girl standing by a gate. Artwork by Celtic Dragon, charted by Artecy. It's one of their Facebook group freebies. I did 3 days worth of stitching and achieved 2,168 stitches, taking me to 31,585 out of 62,700 stitches, or 50.37% overall. And that is it there. I have tried diagonals, working row by row, and what I've done is I went back to working 10 by 10 blocks because this isn't gridded. What I'm doing is I'm working on 10 by 10 blocks and parking in the block below. If there's not a stitch to be stitched in that colour on there, but there's the next block to the one I've just stitched, and I'll go there. And then if there's not one there, I will look at the diagonal left and right blocks and work from there. Just keeps myself right and keeps my accuracy up. It's really quite nice. It's quite a nice stitch once you get past the sky. There's about 6 different shades of cream in there. And I'll just get the muck up. And yes, you just whacked me in the back with the tail. Thank you, Trixie. Whacked me in the back of the head as she went past. there's the mock-up of that one there. Now, in September, I have stitched so far in September on 2 projects. I had both of which are new starts. One was a planned new start and one was a spontaneous new start. One I'm stitching on my nudge and one I'm stitching in hand. First one I'm going to show you is my planned new start. If I can scroll that. Thank you. This is 2 wolves. Artwork by Nadia Sjalkina. Charted by Pain Free Crafts. This is my first Pain Free Crafts chart and I'm quite enjoying it. Excuse me! Oscar! Thank you. This is the mock-up here. And I worked on this for 6 days. I purchased it in July, I think it was, when Sarah at Pain Free Crafts announced that some of the Nadia Sjalkina charts were getting withdrawn. And I was actually going to buy Sail and Fairy chart, the chart for Sail and Fairy, because I had seen Nicola stitching it and I liked it, but I knew I could get a version of it through, I think it's Heaven and Earth Designs had to have a version of it. It's slightly different. I think the layout is not as wide, it's more like a portrait type thing. So I knew I could get that at a push somewhere else if I really wanted to stitch it. Because when I was looking through them, I could only afford to buy one chart at that point. And when I was looking through them, this one jumped out at me. Anyone that knows me knows I love animals, and I've got a whole list of animals. At the top, near the top, if not, well, maybe second top at the list, is wolves. I have always liked wolves. I've always loved wolves. I find them majestic. I find them, there's just something about them. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but there's just something about wolves that I like. And when I saw this, I was like, I have to stitch it. I have to get that and I have to stitch it. So that did mean that there was a change of plans. The one that I was actually planning on starting on the 1st of September has had to get put back a month. So, did you fall off the arm of the chair? Or was that planned? Silly cat. This is landed on top of Oscar. Oscar, you leave her alone. So that's my progress for 6 days. I'm doing the same thing as I'm doing on Cottage Garden in Bloom. I'm working 10 by 10 rows across here, parking in the block below. So once I finish the colour, finish that, like the colour in that block, if it's in this block here, it will get parked in there. If it's not in that block, but it's in that block, it gets parked there. Then if it's not in either of these two blocks, but it's parked in here or here, so if it's in here or here, and it's not, you know, not already parked, I'll park it. I tend to go to the one to the bottom right first before I go to the bottom left, because I'm always working left to right that way. I don't know how to explain, how to describe. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work within the stitching area. Well, my stitching area on a nudge, I could probably squeeze another page, Pain Free Crafts page out in there, but because I use the magnetic cable ties, I thought, right, no, 3 pages wide. This is 150 stitches, and then it'll be about 150 stitches down, and that will be my entire working area on that size frame. And what I'll do is I'll then just move the frame over and work left to right that way. It does mean there's a lot of hanging threads. These are actually behaving themselves, they're not all knotted. I'm not going to show you the bottom of them because they are a little bit ratty, but rat-tailish, but yeah, that's that one there. On this one I've stitched for, well, I said 5 days, I said 6, it was actually 5 days, and I managed 2,573 stitches out of 1,777,288 stitches, or 1.45%. I'm using this one for the series of challenges that's been organised by Abbey of Croston Crafts, and I'm doing the Harry Potter challenges, so I'm starting with chapter 1 of the Philosopher's Stone. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work on this till I've done the first chapter, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch on to the Freebie Harmony, do the next second chapter on that and just work through them. But I'm going to go into that more in plans. So that is the first of my 2 new starts for this month. Stop that! Now my numbers are a wee bit off here because I was working on this last night. The second new start for September is Glorious Sunflowers, which is my spontaneous new start, and I started it to fit in with Nicola's event on our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is Simply Stitcher and Friends, and quite an uplifting group. We're always sort of cheering each other along and helping support each other as women and as stitchers. Oh, and men, there's a couple of men in the group as well. So we're kind of there supporting each other, helping each other through. A lot of very knowledgeable people in there in the group as well. Nicola is a stitching whiz who, if there's something that if she doesn't know the answer, she'll know someone who does. Or she will point you in the right direction. She can point in the right direction. But it was 790 stitches as of yesterday, but I did another 301, so it's 1,001 stitches now. This is what it's going to look like when it's finished. It's from an Artecy, it's a freebie, Facebook freebie, and it's called Glorious Sunflowers. The original artwork is Ulrika Leone. I think I butchered the name, I do apologise. So that is there, and what I've done is, 1,091 stitches, I do apologise, and 1.82%. So that's what 1.82% looks like on that. It's going to just fit. I've had to narrow my borders. I think I've done 1.5 inch border on that side, because this was a piece of Aida that I had picked up from somewhere I think it was on Etsy. I'm not entirely pleased with it. It's a wee bit stiffer, but it's fine for stitching in hand. I think I had made the decision. I've got another couple of pieces the same, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use them for black work, because the black work stitching the black work on them, it works really, really well. I mean, if I stitched in hand, I'd probably get more of this, but because I stitch in a frame, I prefer the gridded for my full coverages. But that is the last of my projects that I've stitched on for August and the beginning of September. Now, what's next? Plans. As you all know, if you haven't been hiding under a rock for the last couple of months and have been following me, you'll know that I've been struggling with a way to stick to my rotation and get the progress that I'm wanting. I was doing 2 days, I am doing 2 days or 1,000 stitches, but I wasn't happy because I wasn't able to touch all the projects I wanted to touch, and I wasn't getting and when I did get onto the projects, I wasn't getting the progress that I wanted. The result being, there's been a couple of instances where I've worked on my projects for maybe a week at a time, and then I felt guilty because I wasn't sticking to my rotation, and for all the best will in the world, I couldn't play you can't play catch up. So, I heard Abby talking about her series of challenges on a couple of Flosstubes back, and I was intrigued. But I thought I like the idea, but I'm going to hold off and see it in action, sort of thing. And I've been watching her progress on Instagram and on her videos, and I've been quite impressed with it. I'm not usually a goal-orientated stitcher. I'm more of a progress stitcher. I'm not usually goaling. I don't go for the finish unless it's a specific project for someone. If it's for someone, if for a like a birthday or whatever, then I'd probably be more goal orientated that way. So, having said that, I mentioned in one of my Stitch With Me's last week that I was thinking about doing the series of challenges, but doing it during the day and then working on my rotation at night. But I wouldn't. That would annoy me because although I'll be getting the progress on the big, on the one for the series that I'm working on for the series of challenges, I wouldn't necessarily be getting the progress on my rotation pieces that I was looking at, that I was wanting. So I decided I'm going to flip that. And what I'm going to do is, during the day, I'm going to work on my rotation pieces for the 2 days or 1,000 stitches as I've been doing. But say after dinner, I'm going to switch and work on whichever project I'm working on for series of challenges. The plan is, chapter 1 of Philosopher's Stone is going to be on 2 wolves. And then I'm going to jump back, instead of going on to what's the next one? I've got the picture of it in my head and I can't remember the name of it. 2 Dancing Peacocks, that's it. The little Gabriel of HAED, what I started June for my birthday. That would have been my next one in the rotation after Cottage Garden in Bloom. So that would have been the next one. So that is going to be what I'm working on from tomorrow and Tuesday, and then at night I'll work on this one to get the first chapter finished, and then I'll switch once I've got the first chapter finished on that. I think we've got another 2,000 and odd stitches to do. So I think what I'll do is once I've done that, I will. Once I've finished that, switch back to number 1 on the rotation, which is Freebie Harmony, which is my parrot. But Maddie, no, not Maddie. Well, Maddie, that's in Nicola's group. There's a member of Nicola's group was working on this as well. I can't remember how far she's, just 60-something%. She's further along than I am. She's doing half cross on hers, but that's the one I'm doing. But it's one of the Flosstubers. It's not Night Owl Stitcher, is it? I've got her face in my mind, but I can't remember her name. Oh, it's annoying me. I keep meaning to write her name down, her channel name down when I come across her because I subscribe to her. Is it Night Owl Stitcher? She's just a young girl. Just a young lass. But she's working on that as well. She's still quite far up the top. I can't remember her name. I can't remember her channel name. That's going to annoy me now. But anyway, so I'll go back to that, and then I'll work from, once I've completed chapter 2, I'll go to the Witching Hour, and then back onto the kitchen show. So they'll get longer, and that. So I'm technically going to be doing 2 rotations. I'm going to be doing my 2-day rotation. I'm going to be doing my challenge, my series, my series of challenges, rotation as well. Am I going to get confused? Possibly. Does it mean you're going to get more content? Maybe. Does it mean you're going to see more stitching? Hopefully you'll see more stitches. And once I get into the way of it, I'll be fine. Once I get into the swing of it, it's going to be a wee bit strange because I do try and stick on the same project all day, unless I reach my 1,000 stitches and I'll switch it out. So that I did say that Nadia's joking a piece of this 2 wheels that I started bumped my starts back a month. I was going to start on 1st of September. I was going to start this one, which is McGonagall's Library from the Cross Stitch Studio. So that is now going to be my 1st of October new start. It is 800 stitches by 800 stitches, I think. And there is 90 colours, I think. Abby's got my floss list. She's given me a quote on it. I'm pushing the button on that when I get paid again on the 20th. So that'll be for that, because there is something like 120 skeins of black. Yep. I think I need a cone of doom. I think I might be having a look, see if I can get a cone of 310, so that I can then let Abby know that I'm not needing all that 310. You can get the cones in CXC as well. I think I might try it, not necessarily for this one, but for future projects where there's a lot of black, because there's a lot of black in my witching hour as well. I must go for the darker projects, I don't know why, but that's 1st of October. I've not put it in. I've not put it in, you know. Not put it on my pattern keeper. Give me a second while I go into my OneDrive and files. Stitch pattern. Sorry, I thought I had put this into my pattern keeper so I could show you it. I've not. No. Wrong one. This one. That one. This is one I'm going to be starting on St Andrew's Day this year. As you know, I started the Quaker Tiles from Vivster's the Scotland Flag on St Andrew's Day last year. And my plan is to do this one and Celtic Thistle, like starting this year and next year. So and they'll all be sort of hung together as a set. The unicorn is the national animal of Scotland, and the thistle is the national flower of Scotland. Hello, baby. You trying to catch my fingers, are you? You trying to get my fingers, are you? You're a good girl. So that's that one. And then in December, maybe. What are you doing? You've been silly. Oh, you've just been to the litter tray. You're smelly. That's this one. This is a supersized matte colour version of the Teddy Tree by Dona Gelsinger. I'm going to be starting that one sometime in December. That's been marked down for a December start since January this year. Do you want to stop growling? You think it was a dog I had in the house, not cats. So that's December. And then on Hogmanay, which is the 31st of December, for those that don't know, you've maybe never heard it called New Year's Eve called Hogmanay, but in Scotland we call it Hogmanay. And it's when we see out the old year and see in the new. And in between, sort of running between the front door to let the welcoming year in and the back door to usher the old year out, I will be working on this one. Although I don't know how I'm going to manage that with my mobility at the moment. You usually, by the way I was taught, first stroke of midnight, you open the back door, let the old year out, and you rush to the front door and open the door for the last chime in the year of 12 to let the new year in. That's the way I was taught, but I don't know how I'm going to manage that this year with my mobility. But this is the supersized max colour version of Monarch of the Glen. This was a random act of kindness from a lovely lady who shall remain nameless because she does this out of the goodness of her heart, not for kudos and what have you. But yeah, I did a live stream at the end of August, and I had mentioned, so the beginning of August, sorry, I had mentioned on there that I was putting this back into my wish list to buy it, and the lady messaged me the day before I was going to buy it, because I'd said that I wasn't going to buy it until the Monday when I had money, and I could time it right for the sale and things and still get the sale price. This is from Heaven and Earth Designs, by the way. And she messaged me, she went, "Have you bought that chart yet?" I was like, "No, not yet, not buying it till tomorrow." She says, "Well, you won't have to." And I was like, "How?" She says, "Well, I'm going to buy it for you." I'm like, "No, you're not." She said, "Well, yes, I am." I'm like, "Are you sure?" She's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Are you really sure?" "Yes." So there was no arguing with her. So she bought it for me, and I said to her then, I said, "Right," I said, "I'll tell you what, I'll start it at Hogmanay. This will be my Hogmanay new start because it's a stag. And anyone that knows me, I'm saying that phrase again, anyone that knows me, I'm a Gordon. And our clan crest is a stag's head coming out of a ducal coronet with a banner. And this is actually one of my favourite pieces of artwork that I have seen, that I've liked ever since I first seen it. And I mean, I'm never going to be able to afford to own this piece. I don't think it's for sale anyway. It's part of the National Collection or something. And it's, you know, I think it's in the National Gallery of Scotland in Edinburgh, or it might be the museum. I can't remember. But when I first saw it, I think I saw a picture of it in a magazine, and I just fell in love with it. I said, I really want that. And the great thing about being a cross stitcher is we might not be able to afford the actual artwork, but we can make ourselves a version of it. So that's what I'm doing with this. I'm not going to own the artwork itself, but I am going to make myself and own a version of it done in cross stitch, and it will be done on 25 count 1/1 full cross, because that's how I do all my big ones, and it's a super size max colour, so it's going to be 999 across or 999 stitches high, or it might be 999 by 999. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll tell you just now how many stitches are in it. Let's go in. It's got 450,226, so it's 225. So it's not as big as some of my supersized max colours, but it's going to be big. So that is my new start for Hogmanay. I'm not planning on doing the HAED style next year if they're doing it, unless there is one of the unless one of the charts is on it is one that I really like, and it's a limited, it's not going to be available unless you do the style type thing. Then I might join it, but I might just make point of doing my 6 pages and to be done with it. I'm finding it a bit of a chore. I was thinking what I might do is I might, instead of switching to project 1 for the next chapter, I might switch to the HAED style and do the series of challenges for the HAED style. This is something that I sort of thought about yesterday when I was filming my video, and I sort of talked about it then. So I'm in 2 minds, so that's why I'm not set in stone that I'm definitely going to do that. I'll see how I'm feeling when I get 2 wheels finished. Because what I'll do is I'll just work on that HAED style until it's finished, because I've got 2 pages plus maybe 3 diagonals to do. If I'm working on it only in the evenings, it's going to be taking me at least till the end of September. The last instalment comes out on the 1st of October, although if it's anything like the last couple, they'll come out a couple of days before, depending on when the weekend lies. Depending on when the first lands. So I might just do that. So that's, and then what I'll do is once that's finished, I'll switch back onto, I think that's probably more than likely what I'll be doing, but I'll see how I feel. I've already changed my plans twice, there we go, and space of talking to you. Sometimes it helps just to sort of talk it through, even if I'm just talking to air. Sometimes talk things through with the cats. Do you 2 want to stop making that noise? Trixie, come here. He's not going to hurt you. Come here. Is he just annoying you? Will he not leave you alone? That's because he's in love with you, baby. Oh, it's Charlie. That's Charlie. That was Charlie. Oh dear, now my phone's decided to, my laptop's decided it's going to start booting at me. Oh. Anyway. Haul. I have got charts galore for you this month because it is a month. As I say, that was a random act of kindness. Monarch of the Glen. Sarah at Pain Free Crafts announced at the beginning of August that some, if not all, of the Janet Stewart charts were being retired at the end of the month. Amongst the ones that were being retired were the seasonal montages that Stitch and Mummy's stitching on. And I had them in my wish list. These are the ones that were in and out the wish list backwards and forwards before I decided I'm definitely getting them. So I bought the 4 of them. And this is why I am not getting any more charts for the month, for the rest of the year. That is the autumn one. That's the spring one. It's the summer one. This is the one that Stitch and Mummy was working on, I think, maybe a couple of weeks back. I think she might have actually finished the rose, or not far off finishing the rose. And this one is the winter montage, which is actually quite nice. Yeah, I just liked them. So I got those. Then my friend Catherine of Catherine Stitches sent me a link and suggested a chart to me from so I think Sunflower Stitches, and this is in the Furry Tales collection. This is Al Cat Pone, and don't you think he looks like Charlie? Yeah, if only Charlie had his blooming yeah, Charlie's a bit of a coward. So it's a bit of a juxtaposition, this being Charlie. Charlie's a wee bit of a coward. He's not, he's a bit of a wuss. Let's just say that Oscar's top cat, I think, in the house. So that was that. And then I bought from Celtic Crafts, I bought Bilbo Meets Gandalf. She was doing a limited edition run of some Lord of the Rings charts. And if you're quick, you might still get the Lord of the Rings Middle-earth map. She had that, a limited number of that as well. She'd been asked to do some more. So she's done a limited number of those. I don't know how many charts there are still available, which ones are still available, but if you go to Celtic Crafts website, you might get, you know, some. She's got some lovely charts there, quite a wide selection of charts as well. Some beautiful ones. There's a couple in there that I've got on my watch list that I quite like as well. So well, I'll see. I keep going saying I'll see. I'll get them, but I'm on a no buy now for charts at least, because I still need to buy fabric and floss to do them, to do my new starts. So that's my haul. My other haul, my crochet new start. Oh, sugar! Can't do that. Well, not watch what I'm doing and not do that again. Oh, all over me. Oh, dearie, dearie. I'll clear that up after I'm finished filming. Couldn't do that again if I tried. I've got it on the wheel, but I'll be fine because it'll wash out. This is 100% cotton. Got it from Temu. It's a gradiated 300 gram cake of wool, and I've done that much of it so far. I've got it on a 2.55 millimeter hook, and I'm just doing the endless granny square. It's about the only thing I can do that in corner to corner, and I didn't fancy doing corner to corner with this because I've been there forever doing one pass on it. So I thought, well, if I do the graduated granny square, it's increasing on all four sides. I only started this Wednesday, Thursday. I didn't want to stitch at night. I was just wanting to watch, and I can do this while I'm watching. So yeah, I got it from Temu. Don't all come from it once, those of you that don't like Temu, but they're quite, for the wool, they're quite affordable, because it's 100% cotton. It's really soft and silky feeling. I really like the feel of it. And what the plan is to make a shawl. As you can see, I sit out a door. I sit at the door here, and it's drafty in the winter, so it's just to put around my shoulders, to cut off the draft, because I do sit with a pillow, not a pillow, with a blanket, but you know, I sit on top of a blanket on my sofa. I find that if I don't, I get numb, I get sore, and I get uncomfortable. This is just sort of an extra wee bit. It's quite thick, sort of, yeah, you know, one of the sort of velvet, furry type with the fleece on the back. And and I like that. It just makes it a wee bit cozier. But and then I sit with my, if I'm sitting with my feet up, I have a blanket that goes over my legs and my feet, keep my feet warm. And in the winter, I sit like a little, I don't know how to, yeah, I sit like a little caterpillar sometimes. Are you having a little roll about now? What are you doing? You're playing with the caterpillar, Charlie. Okay. So that is my haul and my plans. What have I been watching while I've been stitching, here you ask? Well, I've watched quite a few Flosstubers over the past month. I've just realised I didn't explain my no-buy. Never mind. My no-buy, unless it is on my wish list, it's something that's going to be retired and it's on my wish list already, I will buy it. If it is a limited edition and I know for a fact that I'm definitely going to stitch it, I will buy it. But other than that, I'm not buying any more charts for the rest of the year. Flosstubers that I have watched for the past month, been watching Gemma Stitches, Nicola Simply Stitcher, of course, Jen the Caffeinated Crafter, of course, Teresa Little Stitcher, who had her August update a couple of weeks back. Sorry, July update a couple of weeks back, sorry. Watched that. Watched Aimee on Stitchery Lover, Stitching Mummy, Sarah. 30 minutes of stitching, who does similar to Stitchery Lover. So she does 30 minutes, I think it's daily videos. I think they come out daily, and it's 30 minutes of stitching to music. And it's a nice relaxing way to start my stitching off. Siski Stitches as well, who started doing some lives. I've not actually caught a live as a live stream. I have caught them as replays, in case I keep forgetting that they're coming up, or I'll put the notify on. And I'm either not sitting ready to stitch, doing something else, or I'm just, I'm watching something else, and I've gotten really into it, and maybe watching a program on Amazon Prime or something, and I've gotten really into it, and I think, oh, I'll just watch it later, and then I forget that she's on a live and go and watch something else. So, but I am planning on trying to catch a couple of your lives, Siski. Stitching Masterpieces, who has another chart released on Etsy, beautiful landscape chart. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be stitching it because I stitched 1/1 full cross, and her charts have got a lot of blends in them, and to do a blend you need to stitch either 2/1 full cross or 2/1 half cross, and I don't like tent stitch. With it being sexy, it's a wee bit thicker, so it makes stitching 2/1 full cross a wee bit hard on 18 count. So if I was going to do one, it would probably be a 14 or a 16 count, and it would be huge. And I don't have anywhere that I could put a project that big. So I'll probably won't be stitching on never projects. They're beautiful too. Don't get me wrong, they are beautiful charts. And the charting looks, from what I've seen of those that are working on them, the charting is beautiful. But it's not. I mean, I'd love to work on them. I mean, our castles, the one with is it the Dragon Castle, or the one, I think she's not long finished it. It's the dragons in the castle. It's a beautiful chart, but I'm never going to stitch it because of the blends. If it's got blends in it and it means that I'm going to have to change to like stitching 2/1 on 18 count, you can forget it, because I'm not going to. I don't like stitching two strands. Even the one that I'm doing, DMC 1-2 variegated, I'm doing 1/1 on 18 count. I just like the daintiness of it, and it's easier to stitch, and I'm quicker stitching. I'm quicker stitching on the likes of my HAED and the Hummingbirds one than I am on stitching the Flying Scotsman, which is 2/1 and 18 count. It's so hard sometimes to get the needles through, especially in high confetti areas, and it slows me down, and the 2 strands slows me down. So the only time I can say that it doesn't slow me down is on Quaker tiles, and I think it's just because of the way that it's charted. Other than that, it's, like I say, it's 1/1, 18 count, 1/1, 25 count from a project. What have I watched on YouTube that's not stitching related? I've watched Time Team, both the original and the new ones. I used to religiously watch them every Sunday night when they were on Channel 4. Religiously every week they were on, I would watch them. Usually having my dinner. History Hit is another one that I've been watching, and their associated channels as well. Some quite good history documentaries on there. Also ones that I've seen before, like the Digging for Britain ones that used to be on the BBC. I think it was the BBC. Watched them as well. So, listening. What have I been listening to? I've been listening to audiobooks lately again. It's not something that I've always gotten into because I find sometimes someone reading a story to me is a bit... I'd rather read it myself, but when it interferes with my stitching time, I know that I needed an intervention, and the only way to do that was to was to get the audiobooks. So I have Spotify, and on Spotify I'm listening to The Hobbit and the Game of Thrones series of books, as well as podcasts. Now I've never really been into podcasts, but I caught one lady on Facebook who did What Now podcast, Katie. I want to say Katie Kuik, but it's not. She's a lovely lady. She's a Scot living in Ireland. She's got something like that. I'm picking her accent up as being Fifer. She might not be a Fifer or sort of Central Scotland, but she reminds me, her accent's a lot like that. And she reminds me of the college lecturers that I used to have when I was doing my HNC and MIT. The same sort of energy, and she put the energy and the passion into what she's describing. And so yeah, like I said, I caught a couple of videos on Facebook, and she'd mentioned that she did podcasts. So I thought, right, I'm gonna work. So I'm working my way through the back catalogue. I'm at something like episode 45, 46. And I mean, they're not long episodes, they're only on for maybe half an hour to an hour. So if you're listening to them like if I'm doing a good stitchy sesh, where I'm sitting there for maybe 2 or 3 hours, I can get through quite a few of them. So that's... Don't even think about it. Oscar, don't even think about it. Stop being a thug. You're getting measured up for your leather jacket and your chains tomorrow, are you? Being a little thug. Sorry. Where was I? Yeah. TV wise, I've been watching FBI, which is written by the same people as did Law and Order, and it's actually quite good. Sometimes when you watch something that's produced by the same people as someone else, you're a bit let down by it. But it's actually quite good. And the girl the lady that plays the agent in charge of the field office that it's based in, I think it's New York based one, was in CSI New York. She played Jo in CSI New York, but she plays Dana in the FBI. She's one of my favourite actresses, so I was quite happy to see her. What else have I watched? I've been watching Wire in the Blood again. What else? Some true crime documentaries and stuff. So, yeah, quite an eclectic taste, me. Now going on to my life update. If you've really been here for the stitch and what have you, then I'll see you on the next one. But if you want to stick around for the life update, I touched on it earlier when I said that I'd been having a bit of a mental health problem. It was one kind of not major but big thing, which normally I would have been able to get past quite easily, but it came hot on the heels of quite a few minor sort of setbacks and things that sort of played with my mind, and people saying things to me without realising the ramifications of what they said to me and how I would take it and how I'd react to it. And yeah, it took me a wee while to realise that I couldn't change what other people did and said, but can change how I react to them. And it took me a while to realise that. I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety 2003, and I've been on medication for it ever since, on and off, different ones. And whenever there's something like, I also have an underactive thyroid, which if it's flaring up, exacerbates the depression. And if my thyroid medication needs changing, it kind of knocks my antidepressants out of kilter for a wee while till it settles back down. And so I mean, that wasn't the reason why I was going. Like I said, it was like a lot of little things, and then a kind of bigger thing, and I just couldn't get past it, and I just didn't have the headspace for filming content, and I just wanted to sit and stitch and not talk to anyone and just sit and be me and the cats in our little bubble and not talk to anyone. So that was me for most of August. Got to the end last week in August, and Catherine Stitches messaged me. She said, "Are you alright? Because this isn't like you." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I've just been going through it with my mental health," and kind of told her. So I'm like, not into too much detail about what it was, but just told her that it was fine and that I was wanting to film. And I filmed a couple of Stitch with Me's. Normally, if I'm having a bad mental health episode, like not quite as bad as it's been, but I would have tried to still at least film Stitch with Me's, because I don't have to face use, like look at the camera and what have you. So I would have done that, but I didn't even feel that I had it in me to do Stitch with Me. It's definitely not talky ones. It would probably been, if I had done them, it would probably been ASMR ones. Will you two stop? Oscar, leave her alone. That's them playing getting out of hand. Stop it! Trixie! She's as bad as he is. What was I saying? Yeah, if I had filmed it, Stitch with Me, it probably would have been ASMRs. You'd think I'd be used to it by now, getting to it, everything going along fine, and something coming and just knocking the feet out from under me and putting me back down to wherever. But I worked through it, and I'm not 100% back to what I was, but I'm a lot better than I was. For the fact that I've been able to sit for an hour and 24 minutes and talk to you guys, as a testament to that. I am going to try and get a picture of Trixie before she goes home to pop it on my community tab. But that's all I've got for you this week. I always feel that by the time I get to the end, my energy level's gone, and I don't have the same sort of get up and go that I have at the start, and it's possibly true because today, certainly, because I'm struggling a bit. I didn't sleep very well last night. Certain cats were annoying last night and kept jumping on me. Hey Charlie, you were using me as a trampoline last night, weren't you? The three of yous. So I didn't sleep very well last night. So I'm probably gonna have an early night tonight, actually. But that's all for me for this week. I will try and be back on Saturday. And I hope that you're all well and that you're getting a lot of stitches done. But remember, if you're only getting one stitch in, it doesn't matter. It's still progress, isn't it, at the end of the day? I mean, I did 301 stitches yesterday, where I've been hitting constantly between 500 and 1,000 stitches for the past couple of weeks. So, yeah, it's still progress, and it's still less stitches you've got to do at the end of it. If you haven't already subscribed and you've enjoyed listening to me waffling on about nothing and everything and showing you my projects, and you know, if you like the projects and you want to follow the progress as I'm working on them, click on the subscribe button, click on the like button, get me going in the algorithm for YouTube, even comment, and even if it's just a wave or a smiley face, it all helps get me up on the algorithm, so that my channel is seen by more people, and you know, and then I mean, when I think back to the start of the year, I had 99 subscribers as of when I filmed my whip parade in June. I think it was June. I had 99 subscribers, and I've jumped up to 273 it was when I had a quick look this morning. So you guys are amazing, and those of you that stick with me even when I'm having mental meltdowns and talking out a hole in my head, and you know, talk about anything in particular, or not producing content because my mental health's in the toilet. You guys actually are, you know, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. I don't think I would have probably attempted it but not stuck with it. You guys are the ones that make me come back week after week, to show you what I'll be stitching, to do the show and tell, you know, to like, this is what I've done. And it's like, that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of being back at school and doing the show and tell, and how happy you are that people are interested in what you're doing. And we're all the same, I think, when it comes to watching Flosstubers who are producing content like this, what the updates and things, whether they're weekly, fortnightly, monthly, or bi-monthly, it's the see what other people are stitching on. Oh, that's a nice project, let's do that. Oh, I think I'll add that to my wish list, that sort of thing. And it keeps us going, and if we're not getting a lot of progress in a project, we don't feel guilty about it, because you're seeing what other people are producing as well, if you know what I mean. So if it wasn't for you guys subscribing to my channel and commenting and liking and whatever, remember, you can share my channel as well, you can share my videos as well. If you know, if you think that some of your friends would like to see this daft Scots woman with verbal diarrhea. But anyway, yeah, and if you do click on the like and subscribe button, click on the all button, or the all option on the notifications drop down, so that you will be notified whenever oh gosh, I'm getting low battery reading, but I don't know how, because I've got one charging. Click on the notifications button and click on all, so that you will be notified whenever I upload content. And this, the end of this is a total mess, but who cares? Remember, as I said, if it is only one stitch you get done in a day, it's still one stitch less that you have to complete at the end. And when it comes to people's mental health and mental well-being, please be kind. Do not judge anyone unless you have walked a mile in their shoes. And if you have the ability to make someone's day brighter just by giving a smile or a kind word or a kind gesture, do so, because it might cost you nothing, but it means the world to that person on the other end of that, and I am testament to that. Thank you to the lovely lady that gave me my RA key in August of the Monarch of the Glen. Your kindness, your kind gesture meant the world to me and made me realise how appreciated I was in the stitching community. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today, guys, and I do apologise for it being such a long one, but hopefully next week we'll be back to our usual just under an hour, because I'll only have about maybe 4 or 5 projects next week. The new rotation will start tomorrow with me going on and stitching on two dancing peacocks tomorrow and Tuesday. I'm working on 2 rows in the evening until I get to the end of that first chapter on Abby's series of challenges, and then I will switch on to, probably going to switch on to the HAED for the evenings. So you are hopefully going to get at least 4 projects, if not 5, on Saturday. And happy stitching, and God bless you all. Bye.